Today, whether you knew it or not, is World Kidney Day. Now, the reason why this is actually so important is because you cannot live if you don't have functioning kidneys.
Well, you can't live without dialysis if you don't have
functioning kidneys. This is true.
You only need one kidney,
right?
Technically.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Amy Doomer.
Good morning.
She's South Plains Kidney Foundation. Also in the house, Christy Diaz. She's a registered nurse with Fresenius Medical Care, which is dialysis center. There are 3 of them actually here in Lubbock. So, all right, tell us about World Kidney Day. What's going on?
Well, World Kidney Day is a day that we are trying to make sure everybody knows about kidney disease and prevention. And with the South Plains Kidney Foundation, that's what we're trying to do here in the West Texas area. One thing about kidney disease is that people don't always know that they have it, but it's one of those things that's very easy to check. You just need a urine test or a blood test. Just go to your doctor. Making sure that you're keeping your blood pressure under good controls. Diabetes, those are ways to prevent it. Diabetes and high blood pressure are the major causes of kidney failure. So what we're trying to do with the South Plains Kidney Foundation is to try and help educate people, make sure that we have programs available for awareness. We also have fundraisers coming up. We have over 800 people on dialysis just here in Lubbock, and that is when their kidneys are failing. Yeah. Or kidneys have failed, sorry. So over 800 people just in the Lubbock area. In all of the United States, there's actually 636,000 people on dialysis. And in the Texas area, there's 44,000 in Texas all around. So if we can get the word out, if we can get the word out to help prevent kidney failure, people can live with kidney disease. That doesn't always cause kidney failure. But when it does cause kidney failure, that's when, they need dialysis or transplant. Mm-hmm. There are actually 4 transplant centers in town that come to Lubbock. There's no transplant center in Lubbock doing transplants. They're actually all around. We've got UT Southwestern with UMC that does transplants. That's out of Dallas. Baylor out of Dallas. Houston Methodist. San Antonio. So these are centers that come to town for transplant workups, but we also have lots of dialysis centers in town, and that's what Christy can talk about is, if you do have kidney failure, what you can do.
Dialysis centers nowadays are kind of like Walgreens and Walmart. There's one on every street corner. And in the larger metropolitan areas, there's even more dialysis centers. 30 years ago when I came to Lubbock, we were the only dialysis center between Amarillo and Odessa. And so we had a lot of patients traveling 3-4 hours just to come for a 4-hour treatment 3 times a week.
Wow.
That's a full-time job just for their dialysis. We have all kinds of different treatment options available. There's home therapies where you can do your hemodialysis at home with a partner. There's peritoneal dialysis, which most people don't know about. That doesn't involve blood. It doesn't involve needles. You do it at home by yourself, and you can even do it at night while you're sleeping, and then have a regular daytime job. Then we also have the in-center hemodialysis, and they're talking about doing a nocturnal dialysis where you come to the dialysis center at night and run for 8 hours 3 times a week, and then you have your daytime to do whatever you want to be doing. So there's lots of options there. And then with transplant, we actually have 3 different kinds of transplants now. We have living-related donors or deceased donor transplants. In the old days, that was called cadaver transplants. And now they're also doing living non-related donors where a friend, a coworker, a spouse, or somebody off the street gives you a transplant. And so we're having more transplants that way, but there still are not enough donors. Of the over 400,000 people that are on dialysis, only about 5 to 10% of those patients will get a transplant.
Wow, those numbers are terrible.
Yeah. And back in the 60s, 70s, early 80s, your life expectancy wasn't very long on dialysis. But we have patients that have been on for 40 years now.
Wow. So what is the average age for someone that you see?
I've seen everything. I've had a 5-year-old that was on, and I've had 90-year-olds that are on. Mm-hmm. It's not particular in who it chooses.
Wow.
Yeah, right now the average is between 50 and 65, I believe, is the major
and that's still young.
Component. Right.
It's still very young. I have had experience with a baby that was born in kidney failure. And I've done 90, 95-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We don't know what your life expectancy is on dialysis because there's other diseases that you may have, heart disease or lung disease, cancers. Mm-hmm. Anything anybody else can have, a kidney patient can have too. Mm. So it's very wide range of how well people do on dialysis. And but I've had everything from doctors to lawyers to students, housewives, truck drivers, farmers, every walk of life, every socioeconomic background have been on dialysis. This is one of my passions, is to train people and to teach people about what their options are. Because it is not a death sentence anymore.
Good. And it's so important for people to donate kidneys.
Yes.
Because so many people are on the waiting list.
How do you get on a registry like that?
What's involved with donating a kidney?
Life Gift actually is the local area here, the OPO, the Organ Procurement Organization, that helps with donor and donor registration. You can go onto lifegift.org and you can sign up to be a donor, and that's when you pass away. Those kinds of things. If you're interested in donating kidneys when you're living, when you're living, you don't want to do two, just one. You can call the transplant centers in town. You can talk to the dialysis centers. They can get you hooked up with someone.
Is it easier to profile people these days for compatibility than it used to be?
Blood tests.
Yeah, we do blood tests, and Christy was talking about the different types of transplant. There's also the swap. So if you wanted to give, Laura, Tom a kidney, but you were a different blood type, you could not give him that kidney. But you want him to get a kidney. Mm-hmm. So you're going to tell the center you want to donate no matter what. Mm-hmm. They would put it into a swap. So say I was going to give my kidney to Christy, but I didn't match her either, but I matched Tom. I would give my kidney to Tom, and Laura, you'd give your kidney to Christy.
Gotcha.
So that's just a four-way kind of two-person swap. They do chains where it just goes down the line. They have altruistic donors that don't have a specific person that they want to donate to, and they just call a center and say, I want to donate my kidney. And they get worked up. This is a thorough workup.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't just do blood tests. There's lots of different physicians that you have to see and tests that you have to do. We do not put the donor at risk. Yeah. We don't want them to have kidney failure in the future. So if they have any possibility of having diabetes or hypertension, that could really cause it. Right. If it runs in their family, they're very, very the centers are very, very cautious about that and make sure they do all the testing that they can. We can't promise that won't happen. They do get priority later.
All right. Now, this dialysis thing, it's like you say 4 hours 3 times a week. That's not to and from. That's actual
sitting in the chair for 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you think that sounds really inconvenient,
that's because it is.
Yeah, juxtapose that with the inconvenience of trying to take better care of yourself.
That's right.
Okay, today's the first day of the rest of your life. Listen.
And sometimes you can't help your kidney disease. It's not anything that you had. I have a very dear friend who had a kidney transplant, and I'm so thankful for that because she is alive and well and doing so great. Way to go, Christy.
But here's the thing. If you're diabetic and you're non-compliant, this should scare the hell out of you. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally.
Yes.
It's just, and once it's over and once your kidneys are damaged, man, it's dialysis or get a new one. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, we do have some awareness and some events that are coming up that are fundraisers for South Plains Kidney Foundation. We'll talk about that when we come back. Tom and Laura, Lubbock's First News. We're talking with Amy Doomer and Christy Diaz. Amy's with South Plains Kidney Foundation, and Christy is with Fresenius Medical Care, dialysis people here in Lubbock. Listen, we've got some awareness and some fundraisers coming up for South Plains Kidney Foundation. When are they and what are they?
Yes, our first actual fundraising event is our fashion show on April 29th. We'll have more information to you guys so you can get it out there. But April 29th is our fashion show. We then have a professional medical symposium on May 1st. That one is coming up. That's going to be a great, we're talking about sale of kidneys and some ethical issues and things like that. So the medical symposium, professional symposium, May 1st. We will also be having our walk and roll again this year. That'll be June 13th at Mackenzie Park. So we'll get you information on that as well. And then our patient symposium on September 24th. That one is a wonderful education one. It's free to the public. We had over 100 people there last year, great speakers. It was a wonderful event. And then, of course, in the fall, we will be having our Master Chef event again, and that is our big fundraiser. So remember that the South Plains Kidney Foundation serves the West Texas area. We are not affiliated with the National Kidney Foundation. We are here locally. South Plains Kidney Foundation is a local, our local area.
Okay, now I know you guys are looking for, people to be like sponsors for some of these events, and if you're into philanthropy at all, or you would like to, have a perhaps a tax break where you make a donation to kind of help out. Give them the information where they can contact you.
Yes, we are a 501c3, so we are a nonprofit, tax deductible. You can reach me actually at 806-283-7357. You can go to our website which is southplainskidney.com, and I believe my contact information is on there as well. I also have a Facebook page. It is South Plains Kidney Foundation of West Texas. So we've got that World Kidney Day picture up today as well.
Oh, good.
But yes, there's different levels of sponsorship. Anything helps. We really help people that are on dialysis or transplant that are needing assistance with transportation and other emergency kinds of things. So your money stays local, and we appreciate it.
All right, tip for the day. Drink your water. Every morning what I do is I try and drink 32 ounces of water. Sometimes I just chug it because I don't like sipping it. I'm not really a water guy.
Yeah.
Are you?
No, I have to kind of put those little flavors in my water sometimes to encourage me to drink more water.
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy, I know. Need to drink, 32 to 64 ounces a day?
I thought they said like 80 ounces. Wasn't it like 80 ounces?
That's too many.
Yeah, no,
64.
You're waterlogged.
Right.
And make sure you see your doctor.
All right. Thanks for coming in, girls.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. South Plains Kidney Foundation and Fresenius Medical Care.